Hello guys, my name is Tito and I'm the CEO of JellySwap, and today I want to show you how does the app work and what is Jelly about. So Jelly is cross-chain atomic swap widget. Sounds hard, but basically it's a protocol that allows you to exchange cryptocurrencies from one blockchain to another in completely decentralized and secure way. By the way, we are offering very good rates as well because they are similar um, products, but they are much more centralized. And even then, we have better rates than them. You can go to our website, which is jelly.market, and you can see that now we are supporting BTC and ETH, and soon we will support Eternity, DAI, Wrapped BTC, and other currencies. You can check how it works. Here is the team. And we have a news feed from Twitter from our supporters. We want to thank to Defi School, Chris Black, Vlad from Eternity, and many other guys that are supporting us regularly. So let's go to the app and let's see how it works and why is it so cool. For example, I want to exchange some ETH for BTC. It will give me the rate automatically, and here's some approximation in dollars. When I click to swap, it is redirecting me to the app. So here it is. This is the JellySwap app. It's a simple interface which should be easy and intuitive for the users, but let's see what will happen. So in order to start swapping, I can try to click swap, but I'll have a notification invalid BTC address because I have to connect my Brain wallet. So one very important thing, this is non-custodial service. So if you forget your username and password, then no one can recover them. And second important thing, your username and password should be secure and they should be as long as at least 10 symbols. They should include some letters, numbers, and so on. Otherwise, someone can try to brute force it. So here you have a suggestion. The username and password are used to dynamically generate Bitcoin wallet in your browser. This is happening every time on the fly. They are not stored anywhere, so no one can steal your key phrase and your wallet, but at the same time, no one can recover them. So please remember your username and password. No one will ever be able to recover them. This is true, it's not a joke. So it's easy to use and it's user friendly and I really like that. But please remember your passwords. Use some software like KeePass or whatever and just write down your username and password. So I will try to use some wallet that I already have done. My username is not that secure, but I guess that my password is. At least I hope so. So I will use this one for that purposes. Let's see if I will remember the password. So I press enter and here it is. Here is my Brain wallet and I have some balance in it. The second step, if I want to click swap, I will have another notification, connect your ETH wallet. So in order to do a cross-chain atomic swap, you need to have two wallets from two different networks. At this state, we support ETH and BTC, so you should connect your MetaMask and your Brain wallet. So here is my MetaMask. It's a simple extension that is working in the browser. You should have it in order to use the application. I have connected my MetaMask and I have connected my Brain wallet. Therefore, I can continue with the next steps. By the way, we have a white and dark theme. Let's check the dark one. Personally, I prefer it, but it's your choice. This time I want to exchange some BTC for ETH, so I can do it two ways. I can click BTC and here will come the ETH, or I can select the ETH and then click the arrows in the middle and it will change my input. Here I have some notification. The minimum amount is 0.02 BTC. Why do we have that? Because if you want to exchange like $1 or $2, it's not efficient neither for you and neither for the liquidity provider. So the minimum amount is something like $20 and the maximum is $80 at that point, but it will be much more later. We're just in the beginning and we want to test if everything is working fine. So I want to exchange 0.02 BTC, let's say the minimum possible amount, and it is computing that I will receive that amount of ETH. By the way, our pool have some limited funds at this point. I can show you what is the maximum pool amount. It is like 14 ETHs, 14 ETHs 0.6. But it will be enough for the first few days. So here we are. I want to exchange 0.02 BTC for ETH and I will receive 0.1 ETH. This is the current rate. And like I showed you a little bit earlier, our rate is slightly better than Shapeshift and better than FlipMe. So it's a good app, and on top of that, it's non-custodial and much more secure, in my personal opinion. Let's click swap. What's happening? I have some loading, let's say animation, which is spinning right here, and I should receive a notification that my transaction have been sent if everything is fine. And then I can go to the dashboard and I can check if my transaction have been sent and if I'm in waiting status, where yeah, here it is, the transaction is broadcasted. I can open the Bitcoin Explorer and you can see that my transaction is still unconfirmed because it takes some time to have confirmation for the Bitcoin network, as far as I know, and I think that you all know it. And you can see my transaction. I have sent 0.02 BTC to that address, but that address is P2WSH, so it is something like a smart contract. You can think of it in that way. I can check the details. So yeah, it is a P2WSH transaction. Here are some params and some other things, but this is not that important at this moment. If you're interested, you can check our GitHub repository and to understand how does it really work from more technical perspective. But it will take some time, so I won't go through that right now. Here I have some filter. I can see all my transactions, these which are in progress, these which are waiting, these which are completed, and these which are expired. So I want to check all my transactions. I have two which are in status pending, and this is the latest one. I wanted to exchange some BTC for ETH. You can see that there is some approximation that most probably my swap will be ready in 17 minutes and 53 seconds, because when my transaction is mined in the Bitcoin network, then the liquidity provider will create another transaction on the Ethereum network, and only after that I will be able to withdraw my funds. Or the other option is to wait like 24 hours and to click refund, and in that way I will be able to refund my coins. Why is working in that way? Because it is cross-chain atomic swap. It is a two-step process, and if something happens in the middle, you should have an option to claim refund of your funds. So we'll have to wait a little bit. We have another option which is called buy crypto, and by this section you can select it. It will be opened a screen to Ramp. We are using them as third-party provider. Great service, by the way. So if you want to take the ETH because you don't have any crypto and then you want to move it to BTC or vice versa, You just have to come here, write down your email address, agree with the terms and conditions, and it's the best way is if you have Revolut card. It's the easiest one. I don't want to buy crypto right now because I already have. You can see your balances. So my balance was 0.008. Now it is 0.006 because the service have catched that I'm trying to swap BTC for ETH, and my funds will be walked in that P2SH contract. I have some more options. So here I can deposit BTC. You can think of it like web wallet. I advise you to deposit only some small amounts and to use it just during the trade. And if you have more funds, just use something more secure. But I think it's user friendly enough, and it's secure enough because everything is stored only on your browser and no one can steal it. Here are your seed words. So if you want to export your key, not only to use username and password, but to use the seed phrase, you can click here, click to reveal seed words, and you will be able to see your words and import it in some other wallet like Jax or Exodus or whatever you're using on daily basis. And if I want to send some BTC to some of my friends or to some of my other wallets, I just came here, write the address, write the amount. It won't work obviously because I don't have that amount of funds and the Bitcoin address is invalid. So you have some friendly notification that something is wrong. We're still waiting. Approximately we should wait like 14 more minutes, but I think that this is a normal time for such kind of transaction because everything is happening on chain, and in that way you just need to wait for one Bitcoin transaction on the Bitcoin network, one ETH transaction on the ETH network, and it just takes time, and it can be faster if you want to keep it as secure as it is and if you want to keep it on chain. Here I have some bell, which is for notifications. For example, if I'm on some other page and I'm ready to withdraw, I receive a notification which will have some sound, and I just want to allow it because it's important. Here are some of my previous transactions. Some of them are completed, some of them are not. I can see the transaction hashes here, and yeah, basically that's how it works. But I have a white theme as well. It depends what do you prefer. I personally like the dark one a little bit more, but yeah, it's a matter of taste. While we're waiting, I have two screens with the same application, so I will use only the other one. We have a post in. We have a lot of posts, by the way, in Twitter. I think that people are enjoying what we're doing. We have had our official release today, in the end of January. We have put in some initial liquidity like 0.25 BTC and 14 ETH, which is approximately $5,000, which is good for beginning. You can check our GitHub repositories, and if you're a more tech-savvy user, you can just play around, give us some suggestions, some feedback, and the most important are the HTOCs. We hope to have some security audits soon, but they're pretty simple. Basically, it's a contract with a few functions, a typical HTOC contract, but extended a little bit for our use cases. We have work contract, withdraw, refunds, Um, yeah, some modifiers, and we have some status functions, some standard things. Regarding the atomic swaps, what and how, we have pretty great educational tutorials. So if you have time and if you're curious how does it really work, you can come here, and when you take a look, you'll be sure that there is no way that you can lose your funds, and there's no way that the liquidity provider can act maliciously. And yeah, everything is cool because you don't trust people, you trust a protocol, which is a piece of code that cannot be corrupted if everything is written well. We will have another post about the risks and what can get wrong. But if you really know what you're doing, there is no obvious way, and we haven't found a way that you can lose any of your coins. I want to go through this graph, which is simple explanation of the whole process. It's wonk maybe a little bit, but it's useful. So let's say Alice has BTC and Bob has ETH. That was our case. I had some BTC and I wanted to receive some ETH, and I'm still waiting for transaction confirmations. Let's see what's happening here. It is still unconfirmed and I'm still waiting because the liquidity provider needs at least one confirmation in order to know that everything is secure and he can proceed with the process. The next thing is when Alice has BTC and Bob has ETH, Alice, for example, wants to exchange her BTC for ETH. The second step is that Alice thinks of a secret key, secret hash, random letters, words, or numbers. In that case, this is happening, and this secret key is stored in your local storage, but everything is happening behind the scenes, so you don't have to worry about it. But we are going through this step. We are generating a secret word for the taker, which stays only on his local storage, and no one can know it and review it except him. The third step is that when you think of this secret word, then you generate a hash. All of these two steps are happening behind the scenes in JellyApp interface. After that, Alice submits a transaction on the Bitcoin blockchain, which is sent to Bob's address. Basically, it is sent to some P2WSH script, but we mean that in that script it is written that only Bob can withdraw that funds, or Alice have to wait 24 hours, and then she will be able to refund her funds if something gets wrong. That's what happened, by the way. We just sent some Bitcoin transaction in that P2SH script, which is for Bob's address. And here is the transaction, and we are waiting for the confirmation. It's really a random thing. I mean, sometimes it could be done in 2 minutes and 5 minutes. Sometimes it could be like half an hour. But this is how blockchain works. All the things are probabilistic, so it's a matter of work. After that, what's happening? Alice just sends her Bitcoin to this Bitcoin script, and now it's time to Bob. In our case, Bob is the liquidity provider. It's a pool of assets which are available, and every time when Alice wants to exchange her BTC for ETH, she doesn't have to wait like 1 hour or 2 hours or one day to find the suitable Bob guy and to arrange the deal with him. She just have to come to the website, to the interface, just click on the swap button, and after that the liquidity provider, which is in our case a software which is just listening for that kind of events, will automatically provide the liquidity that she's searching for. So Alice sends a transaction to the blockchain, and fifth step is that Alice sends the hash to Bob. This doesn't happen in our case because Bob is just reading the hash from the blockchain. I mean, Bob, or the liquidity provider Bob, is just listening for events, and when he catch that Alice is trying to walk some funds against him, he just reads the event, and if all the rules are fine, he's generating another transaction on the Ethereum network, which is that time for Alice, and it is corresponding amount but in ETH on the Ethereum blockchain, and Bob is using the same hash, which means that only Alice can withdraw that funds if she reveals the hash. But after she reveals the hash, then Bob, the liquidity provider, can withdraw the funds that Alice have walked earlier in step 4. And the end of the process depends strictly on Alice and Bob, but both of them have incentive to finalize it, because even if they ruin the deal, then they have paid some blockchain transaction fees, and the takers have penalty. I mean, if Alice walks her funds, but after that on step 6 she decides, okay, I don't want to take the funds, then she will have penalty of 24 hours, and she will have to wait 24 hours before she is available to withdraw her BTC from the contract, from the, let's say, P2WSH script. And for the Bob incentive, which is the liquidity provider, liquidity providers will have some rating. So if they are acting in dishonest manner, for example, on step 6, Bob say, okay, I don't want to take that deal. I promised her, but I don't care. I will turn off my computer and I will go away. He won't steal the funds of Alice, but he will ruin the deal, and she will have to wait like 24 hours. But he doesn't have that incentive, because after that his rating will be pretty low and no one will trade against him. And the second thing is that when Bob provides some liquidity, he's just putting some spread. So if Alice takes the deal and everything is fine, and she most probably will, because she doesn't like to wait like 24 hours and she wants that deal, then Bob will earn some fees from the spread that he's putting on top of the market price. We are on step 7. Here Alice has to withdraw her funds from the blockchain, and in order to withdraw her funds from the Ethereum chain, she has to provide the key that she has generated on step 2 or 3, I already forget it, but it was on step 2. So if Alice provides the right key that is unlocking the hash, then and only then she will be able to withdraw the Ethereum funds. And if she do it, then Bob has 20 hours more to read that key, which is already public because it's on the blockchain, to take that key and to initiate transaction on the Bitcoin network. And when he do it from his side, then he will be ready to withdraw the BTC funds. So at the end of the day, they execute the swap. Alice has the ETH, Bob has the BTC, and they haven't used any third party, only smart contracts, and they don't know each other, but they know that the deal happens or it doesn't happen for both of the parties. No one can be cheated, no one can be deceived, and both of them have incentive to finalize it. You can read this in more details on our Medium page. And if you have any questions, you can just come here in our website and open our Discord channel. No, this is the Twitter one. Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter as well. It would be cool. But if you want some live support or if you have any questions, you can just come to our Discord channel and to ask whatever you want. We'll try to answer as soon as possible. I'm still waiting for that confirmation. It's taking too long sometimes, but like I said earlier, this is how it works, and we cannot do anything else in order to fasten it because it won't be that secure. We need one on-chain confirmation because after that it's almost impossible to be reverted. Confirm the liquidity provider creates another transaction on the Ethereum network, and now I can withdraw my ETH. I just click withdraw, MetaMask pop-ups, and ask me to confirm the transaction. When I confirm the transaction, it is sent to the blockchain. I have to wait approximately 5 minutes, but it will be much more faster, in my opinion. And when it's done, my transaction, my swap will be finalized, and my balance will move from 0.02 to 0.12 and something after that. It is completed and my balance should be updated. Transaction confirmed and my balance is 0.13. I have finalized the transaction. In my history I can see the Bitcoin transaction, which is confirmed. I can see the Ethereum transaction, which is on the Ethereum side. Here is the transfer from the contract. It is from the contract address to mine, and it is for 0.1 ETH, like it was written right here. Everything is completely secure, transparent, based on the blockchain, and both of the parties cannot be corrupted. The deal happens or it doesn't. Everything is automated, and soon we will release a script where everyone can be a liquidity provider. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you try the app. Give us your feedback, follow us on Twitter, and let's keep in touch in Discord. Thanks a lot and keep an eye on JellySwap. Bye for now.